Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khair for tuning in to another episode of Ridwanullah TV vlogs. I'm your host and coach Hussein Muhammad, working to help you maximize the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every area of your life, in this dunya and in the akhirah, by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just a lot of reflection points, but before I let you know a couple of the inner conflicts that I'm having, that I'm trying to work through, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, this morning, let me just show you one of the parks in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's a amazing serenity filled environment. I'm not sure if you can hear the soothing noise in the background. It's just beautiful, man. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Let me just step over here. I'm not sure if you can see the beauty through this video, this vlog, but just check this out, man. You see the beautiful mountain in the background that's getting into the sky? Alright, I'm not sure if there's, let me just do a 360 real quick. Yeah, I'm in the basketball court right here, Sugar House. Utah Jazz, not a big fan or any fan of it, but hey, it's the hometown team, man, what can you say? But that's kind of what it is right now. So I just want to quickly do this vlog to kind of share with you guys a couple of the inner conflicts that I'm having. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I've come to a firmer realization that the only reason and our only mission in life is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hence Ridwanullah TV or Ridwanullah anything that we do. So as I'm pondering about that and kind of going into my peaceful, happy, blissful zone, I call this, me and one of my close friends joke around about it. We say we get high. And what do we get high off of? The Ridwanullah. That stuff is like the most amazing thing on earth that ever existed, that will ever exist in the past, present, and future. So we get high off that. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. You know, for those who are struggling with drugs, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us away from that. All of us, one way or the other, there's some sort of drug that we're addicted to, whether it's legal or illegal, right? But with that being said, you know, I was just kind of thinking and pondering about a lot of things in life. The first thing is this new digital age that we're in, with the online marketers, you know what I mean, so many people doing businesses online and working on trying to take advantage of that. You know, you in the beginning, nothing is clear, nothing is like, you know, broad daylight, and you want to just do the best that you can with what you have. And then there's that money aspect of it, where you really have to start making money from whatever you're doing, whether that's your passion, your purpose and dreams, whether it's not your passion, whatever it may be. You know, that element of money has to be a factor, right? Because every single day, about 40, 50, 60 hours a week, at least, right? We're working to earn a full-time living, which is still not enough. And then, you know, within that same token, you have to take care of Ridwanullah in every area of your life, but particularly in your deen. Making sure that you're praying on time, making sure that you're taking care of yourself spiritually, and then you're taking care of your health and fitness. You know, the other element would be making sure that you're taking care of your neatness, making sure you're centralized, organized, and clean. And just being adventurous, trying out new things that you've never tried out before, working on new projects that you've never worked on before, you know, having a different strategy that you've never had before. You know, I showed up in Instagram and my brother was just freaking out. It's like, what? what the you doing here? And I was like, okay. But anyway, just being adventurous with technology, trying out different social media as well. The other thing is you really have to work on taking care of your spouse and offsprings, your wife or husband, your children, and you really have to focus on taking care of your parents, siblings, nieces and nephews, and then you have to take care of your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, and cousins, and then you really have to take care of your in-laws. From the parents to the siblings, and then it continues, right? And once you do that, you really have to take care of your career and finance, right? Having a career and financial plan, a legitimate plan that has a system that you could work and build on. And then you got to put in the work to be able to earn that living, to be able to be able to be in the path, doing the thing that you love to do, that is inshallah that'll change the world. And then once you put in the work, through a job or a business, whatever you may call it, you really have to step into making sure that you manage your money correctly. And for me personally, this category of wealth is a real problem area for me. It's something that I struggle with pretty much on a daily basis, and trying to get a handle on that. And then last but not least, the ummah, right? Then taking care of the masajids, particularly the one that you normally go to, and then taking care of your neighbors and friends, and taking care of the globe as much as you can, whatever contributions you can make, whether that's just a video, right? Whether that's, monetary, financial, time, whatever it may be, contributing that way. And, as I'm thinking about all these elements in life and kind of working on contacting and connecting with some of the creators, and trying to figure out my path, trying to figure out what I want to, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, it's kind of crazy, because alhamdulillah I found my passion, my purpose, and my dreams. And I love the Islamic personal and professional development, staying on your grind, staying on top of your game, and making sure that you're taking care of business in the proper way, both personal and professional. And that's kind of what I get immersed in. But that's like an ocean, right? Actually, the whole world, oceans I should say. And you really have to kind of figure out which area is your spot, and kind of going through the market, going through the industry, and then finding a market, and then finding a niche or a couple of niches. And me being a strategically systematic business and investment mindset type of person, and spiritually with my deen, I really have to think about the most optimal way, the most strategically systematic way I could maximize my life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's not an easy journey, wallah. It's not an easy journey, because so many people don't understand what you're doing. So many people don't understand you, let alone what you're doing, the projects that you're up to. Some of them think you're just working too hard. Some of them think you're wasting time. Some of them think that you're not getting anywhere. Some of them just figure out a way to kind of pull you down. And then other people, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, try to lift you up, pull you up, push you along and everything else. So it's a rough reality. And I feel like it's like being that multi-passionate person. It's like which area of your life are you going to stick to? Which area of your life are you going to look at? Which area of your life are you going to drill down in? And for me, as I think about what I want to do as a creator in this YouTube channel, in this digital online space, and figuring out a way to not only live my passion, purpose, and dreams for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also find a way to earn a living without violating my intentions and sincerity for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's kind of been a real struggle area for me, and just kind of being overwhelmed and with this inner conflict and not having a sense of direction or whatever it may be. And it's Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Within that same token, I feel like this is a part of the journey. This is a part of the story. This is a part of the climb and the hustle. I'm actually loving this view in the back, so that's why I'm trying to get the right angle in this mug. But just sharing my story with you guys and being transparent as I possibly can. I really think about having this this conglomerate global organization called Ridwanullah Eternal or Ridwanullah Global, or I'm still trying to drill down on the name, or even if I should go the personal brand route or do both or whatever it may be. As I'm going through this journey, just sharing my struggles with you guys, sharing all of these elements that everyone is going through, it's very, very important to me, and it's kind of therapeutic to me, because the more I share my thoughts and feelings about the painful problems and challenges and inner conflicts that I'm going through, I feel like that's the realest way to connect with you guys, because I know you guys are going through the same stuff as well, in one way or the other, ahead or behind or in the same boat, whatever it may be. And I feel like once I do that, you guys can see the real struggle behind it. I love what I do. I love teaching people, training and coaching, speaking, all this creative work that I've been engaged in for a very long time, and trying to find my path, trying to find my way. And one of the biggest things that I really have to figure out is what is the identity of what are the core identities that I have as a human being, and what are the core identities of my organization, and how I could align those two, and finding my go-to strategy for content creation, and just trying to figure out how I could not only do what I love that inshallah will change the world, but also do something that that could add value, and do something that's powerful, do something that I could actually live my legacy as I'm living my life. You know what I mean? Instead of focusing on leaving a legacy, right? It's more important for me to live my legacy. And Allahu Alam, I mean, I've been a couple of years into this whole thing, fearfully, dabblingly, consistently, and then working on, taking this very, very serious. And, one of the hardest part is, when the financial situations that you personally are struggling with, you really can't meet it, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, in the way that you want to. Always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meets your financial needs as it should be, but as human beings we want to be able to do a lot more than that. But within the same token, you have to be grateful for what you have. And then family members' financial situations kind of is a concern, and you want to be able to kind of figure out how to scale back the work, and then live the rest of your life. But at the same time, when you're living your passion, your purpose and dreams, how you don't want to scale back the work, you want to scale it up and maximize it. But at the same time, figure out how to live with your family, take care of your deen, take care of your health and fitness. I feel like this channel is going to be dedicated to focusing on achieving the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the everlasting bliss, the everlasting success, happiness and success, which is heaven in the hereafter. And there are 10 steps to that, and we're gonna be talking a lot about that. And then there are the ultimate wheel of life, which is the 4 areas of life. And the first one is yourself, the second one is your family, the third one is your wealth, and the fourth one is your ummah, helping out the ummah and taking care of that. And within that, there are 14 categories that we'll be breaking it down to, and then working on maximizing each area on each level for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with ihsan. And just to kind of quickly summarize the 14 points and the 14 areas, the first one is obviously the deen, focused on Ridwanullah, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as though we could see Him. So eventually in the hereafter we could see Him bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The second point is, taking care of our health and fitness, our mind, bodies, and spiritual health and fitness, and everything else that goes along with that. And then the third one is making sure that we take care of our neatness, making sure that we're centralized, organized, and clean, and with abundance of what we need materialistically and otherwise. And then the fourth one is being adventurous, trying out new things, as I mentioned. Stop doing the same old. Try something new, try something different. And that concludes the first chunk of things, which is those four elements, which is the self. And then you get into the family. And number 5 is your spouse and children. Number 6 is your parents, siblings, nieces and nephews. And then number 7 is your grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Number 8 is the in-laws. Number 9, and that concludes family. And then number 9 is your career and finance, and making sure that you have a strategically systematic plan for that, as well as number 10 is your work, and just whether that's through a job or a business that you own and run, and building brands or whatever it may be. And then number 11 is money management and wealth management, and taking care of your money in the proper way. And then that concludes the wealth category, and then we make it into the ummah category. And then number 12 is the masajids, taking care of the masjids. Number 13 is neighbors and friends, and making sure that you're bonding with them and taking care of them as much as possible. And number 14 is the globe, doing the best that you can with your state, your country, your continent, your international relations, and the whole globe. And for me, I strategically and systematically break down my life in those areas, in those categories, and it just keeps getting better and better. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But with that same token, I realized that as you go through this whole process and trying to figure out your passion, purpose, and dreams, for me personally, one of the hardest things is finding words to communicate. This vision that I have, finding words to communicate this mission that I have, finding words to figure out how to create these products that I've been thinking about, these ideas and these dreams, and turning that into a vision, turning that into a goal, turning that into results, turning that into a mission, and then turning those into results. By the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and actually producing those results. I know this is on a higher level of thinking. Someone talked to me about it, some people will understand what I'm talking about, some people won't. And that's not a jab at anybody or anything, but with the same token, it's like that's the reality of life. Some people want to focus on one area of their life, and other people want to maximize all areas of their lives, because if you don't maximize every single area of your life strategically and systematically, then you'll always feel like you're incomplete. You always feel like something is missing. You always feel like you haven't reached your potential yet. You always feel like there's a little bit more that you could do. There's a little bit more that you can accomplish. And especially with you trying to not focus on the money and trying to focus on the akhirah and not being consumed by this dunya, it's going to be hard, because once you're doing these projects, once you're doing these recording, these videos, these editings, it requires time and money, right? And if you're not if you're just spending time and not making money, you won't have enough to kind of build your business, build your organization, build your profit or non-profit organizations, and take yourself to the next level. There's always this challenge. I feel like there's like a drone behind me. Can y'all see that? Anyway, you really have to figure out how to use your time wisely and make as much money as possible so you can continue to fuel your mission of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as I'm thinking about these series and doing these video blogs and all this different segmented content and being creative with my content, I realized I really have to do the best that I can with what I have. And I just wanted to kind of vent and kind of share on that with this Saturday morning vlog as I test out all these elements. I hope anything that I mentioned or anything that I said is kind of helpful and kind of let you guys know what Ridwanullah Eternal, what the Ridwanullah Eternal organization is really about, and what our vision is, what our dreams are, what our vision is, what our purpose is, where we're at, what we have left to do in order to actualize and achieve and maximize that dream vision and those dream goals and results and everything else that we're doing. Somehow, some way, it'll make sense in the future based on all the hard work that is going to take to be able to transition from the 9-to-5 grind to doing something that is meaningful, that I actually love, and that I want to take to the next level. There's so many topics to cover, so many things to kind of talk about, but I feel like these insights and breakthroughs that come to us in life come in segments, come in different times, come in different areas. We're all on different levels with our lives, and we want to make it to different levels, but for me, I can't stick to one area of life. I want to be able to help you maximize every single area of your life in this dunya and in the akhirah by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you see me talking about deen, I'm going to be talking about deen. If you see me talking about health and fitness, I'm going to be talking about health and fitness. If you see me talk about neatness, I'm going to be talking about neatness. If you see me talk about adventure, trying out new things and exploring the world, whatever it may be, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talking about spouse and children and the married life and family wise and taking care of that, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talk about my parents, siblings, nieces and nephews, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talk about my grandparents, aunts, uncles and cousins, and everything that goes along with that, I'll be talking about that. And if you see me talk about my in-laws, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talk about my career and finance and how to maximize that, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talking about work and how to maximize that area of life, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talk about money management and how to properly, effectively and efficiently manage your money, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talking about the masajids and how to maximize their masajids, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talk about neighbors and friends, I'm going to be talking about that. And if you see me talking about figuring out how to contribute meaningful work into the globe, as I recognize and realize that I'm doing right now, I'm going to be talking about that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And if I bring on guests to talk about every single area of life in their particular area of expertise, we're going to be doing that bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And just to kind of summarize and conclude, the Ridwanullah Eternal organization is an organization with a mission to maximize every single area of your life by the grace, will, and for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya and in the akhirah. And we're going to have the Ridwanullah TV, where we're going to be producing majority of our content through. And we're going to have Ridwanullah University, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, coming out, sooner or later, where we're going to be talking about this Islamic personal and professional development on how to maximize every area of your life and live your life to the fullest, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And then we're going to have Ridwanullah Foundation. That is basically the non-profit organization that we're going to be doing to serve the community. It's a small organization overall, and specifically with the Ridwanullah Foundation that I've started a long time ago on a personal level, and then sooner or later I'm going to be involving my friends and the whole ummah to be a part of it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And then, the Ridwanullah retreats. This is a quarterly retreat that inshallah that I'll be hosting sooner or later. I've also talked to some of my close friends about it, and they gave me a lot of good feedback on it. It's not cheap. It's at least $300 to $500 up to a couple of $1,000s to join this retreat. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, it's been something that has been an amazing thing for my life and my success, that I'm excited to kind of share with you guys, and hopefully you guys can come on a regular basis. If not, come every once in a while. If not, at least do it for yourself. That's how I feel about it. It's that important. Budget out anywhere from $100 to $1,000 plus to kind of truly enjoy a week off, to kind of not just have fun, but work on your craft and re-strategically systematize. And that's kind of the vision that I have for all the creatives and all the people who want to maximize their life, every area of their lives, from the creators to the entrepreneurs, the investors, to the da'is, to the scholars. All of those individuals will be at that event to revitalize and recharge. And then, last but not least, the Ridwanullah Conference. This is a vision that I've had from the first time that I've been doing conferences with the Muslim student organizations, the masajids in the local communities, and leading a couple of projects, big time projects with some amazing leaders in the community that I hope to connect with in the near future, so we could restart these projects to serve our ummah bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And then the Ridwanullah store, where we're going to be selling products, physical and digital products. In terms of some of the things that I have coming up that I'm thinking about is a Ridwanullah planner for those Ridwanullah maximizers, the individuals who are trying to maximize their lives. They can take advantage of having an organized, centralized, organizing, clean productivity process where they could write down their schedule, take a look at their calendars and everything else. I'm going to be coming out with that sooner or later. Allahu A'lam, when all of these ideas that has been marinating in my mind is going to come out, but sooner or later I hope that you guys will support this project. You'll support me and this project and my dreams and goals as I work to support your goals and dreams bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And just a lot of ideas as a aspiring Islamic scholar, entrepreneur and investor. It's gonna be a real challenge for me to kind of align and strategically systematize all of these things that I've been working on in the background. And this is the first time I'm completely articulating myself in a way that hopefully someone out there will understand this movement, this project, and not only constructively give me feedback, and anybody else who wants to destructively give me any feedback like that. I know how to deal with individuals who see themselves as limited and try to portray that into you. But anybody who's genuine and want to provide any constructive feedback, I'll be more than happy to accept that. And what else? That's pretty much it. Just kind of vlogging on a Saturday morning. I'm trying to figure out what my go-to strategy is for creating content. I'm kind of finalizing in two different methods. One of them is the top 10 rules to maximizing your life, or maximizing the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other one is an interview on life's main objective. I want to be able to interview people and ask them, as I've already done personally, just kind of ask them, what is the main objective in life? 4 main questions, and then obviously there's going to be a lot of baby questions that come out of that, and then try to understand the interviewee a little more. The first one is, what is your life's objective? And the second one is why. The third one is, where are you with your life's objective? And the fourth one is, how can you achieve your life's objective in this dunya and in the akhirah? And you know, what does it look? What does your ultimate objective look like in the akhirah? What does your ultimate objective look like in this dunya? And what are the reasons? Where are you with it? And what are you going to do to achieve it? And for me, as I ponder that, you know, it's been one of the biggest and most amazing realization in my life, to find out what my ultimate objective is and how I could work on achieving that. And I realized I have this big, crazy, audacious dream of building the world's #1 Islamic personal and professional development organization that turns into a conglomerate that does a lot of crazy stuff in this world. But as I strategically map out my vision and kind of figure out what are the starting points and what are the day-to-day operational grind, I'm gonna be, you know, releasing some of these video blogs. And if you guys tell me these things are valuable, as I believe in my heart it is, because it's coming from my heart and soul, I really want to be able to live my mission, my passion, purpose, and dreams, and to let me know. You know, press the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, sign up to our mailing list for regular emails, you know, including the khutbah wisdoms that I send normally as I possibly can every Friday, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, right after khutbah, hot off the press. Hot off the press! But, you know, that's kind of what I'm up to. Let me know if these things are helpful to you, as they are therapeutic and helpful to me. You know, I realized I really have to be a source of strength for those individuals who have, you know, these ambitions to be an Islamic scholar, an entrepreneur, and investor in this dunya, and taking care of business, just, you know, living life to the fullest, not being afraid of what people are going to think or say about us, and whether we look good or not, whether we look bad or not, whether we're in bad or good conditions. I realize the current condition that we're in does not define our dreams, does not define our future. We really have to break from that and kind of, you know, see ourselves better than we are today. And, you know, even though things are a mess, believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will turn it into a masterpiece one day, if people don't even already perceive it to be a masterpiece. So that's kind of my 2 cents. I'm really excited to have family members coming in from Washington State, my uncle and my cousins and a couple other family members. And I've been thinking about doing a couple of comedy skits, because my cousin Jamal is a YouTuber. And you know, I took a couple of acting classes in my college at the university, and you know, I did a couple of public skits, believe it or not, with some of my close friends. Shout out to Ahmed, Ajmal, Ismail, and anybody else who I'm forgetting. We really had a blast. Like, I really enjoyed myself, like, acting. It was just so amazing, wallahi. And I'm trying to figure out what the best skits would be for me and my cousin to do while he's here, the couple of days for their spring break. And I'm trying to figure